Yesterday, I was well enough to get out of bed and get dressed and actually get in the car with Brian and go on a little staycation. We actually left the county. I don't know how long it's been since I left the county, but we went to Durham to see the Gene Dillard Art House. There will be links in the description below. I emailed the owner of this house, who is the artist, and got permission to visit his house and walk the property, go in the back, and take as many pictures as I wanted. So that's what I did. And it was, I deliberately picked, we did some of 40, a little bit of Durham Freeway, and then we did some surface roads to get me out of the worst of traffic, because I have to think about every mile that I sit in a car is painful for me, and high-speed traffic scares the willies out of me. So I found a good way to get there, and this is the house, and the whole house is covered in mosaic. He's got loads and loads of broken mirrors lined up in the backyard, and he's very clever and creative and uses a lot of found pieces of metal to make these insane sculptures. Is that a horse holding the mailbox? I don't know. This is the front of the house, all covered in all these tiny little pieces of mirror, all made into a mosaic. I would love to do something like this in my house, though I've got to wonder whether the neighbors complain. I would imagine when the sun hits the house just right, it all reflects across the street and blinds the neighbors. But I guess he's figured out a way to make that work without bothering other people. This is the back wall. It's made of it's all beer bottles and set into, I guess, cement, but he actually put that window frame kind of lopsided into the wall, and it's just magical. And it's just right here. It's a very unassuming, little, quiet back area street, and just a lovely neighborhood. We were there maybe half an hour. I took loads of pictures. You're looking at the best 28. Oh, and this little stepping stone. Can you read this? We get too soon alt and too late schmat. That was all covered in vines and has marbles embedded in it, and I uncovered it and took a picture. Those are toilet bowls. Seriously, that's an arrangement of toilet bowls with plants growing in them. Who thinks of that? What a nut. What a lovely person. I'm really, really happy I didn't meet him, because that would have been scary. This house, I noticed, was also about 10 minutes from Grdns. So after we were there, that's where we head next, and I'll have some pictures of that. All this tile work, and that's the front of the garage, but then you go around the side of the garage and it looks completely different. And that's just a close-up of some of this tile work, so you can see the detail. It looks beautiful even close up. And then you go around the corner on that left side there, and I think these are plates, and I think those are those round, what do you call it, bundt cakes. And he's covered those in, some of those in little mosaic dots as well. It was just lovely and inspiring, and what a magical little place. Grdns, it was about 11 in the morning. It was really hot, and I walked very slowly, and I needed Brian's arm to get down some of the paths that are gravel, and I don't do well walking downhill. Uphill I'm okay, but I'm paranoid about slipping. Their koi pond, they have completely redone. They have these ridiculously huge lily pads. What are these? What are these things with the edges? It looks like some kind of creature, and they all look like leaves from a central plant. Also, the koi are used to being fed, and they sell koi fond at the gift shop. So when they walk up to the water, the koi all come swimming over. That whole area, there's a bunch of steps that's in the spring it's covered in tulip bulbs, but in the high summer they've made it into a jungle, and it was lush and dense, and just what a transformation. Beautiful. On the way home on Miami Boulevard that turns into 70 Business or something, we're heading back towards Raleigh. We passed this gigantic woodlawn cemetery, and it's one of those where there's all the cemetery stones are flat on the ground, so it just looks like these weird flowers. I don't get quite the point of that, but that's America for you. But here's his massive banner, career opportunities available. And we started to think about what you would say in a cover letter if you were applying for a job here. I love to work outdoors. I want a position where I connect with the earth. I'm shy. I do really well around people who are quiet and unassuming and private types who don't talk very much. Oh, and also I'm perfectly happy bringing a boxed lunch. I don't know what else you say if you're looking for a job as a grave digger or something. Anyway, we were thinking up these quips all the way home, and it was very silly, and it reminded me of the best of who I am when I'm with Brian. Anyway, that was my big day out, and I slept very well afterwards, and I am happy that I got out of the house and actually did something. So, yay, living the die life.